Now notice the size of the font on the left. The current cost of care is in smaller print, and as we go down and finally wind up on hidden costs, that's a bigger font. Let's talk about median nursing home cost in the state of Michigan where I'm from. It's just under $100,000 a year to be in a private room. If you multiply that times what Kiplinger declares as the average stay in a facility, which is 2.4 years, today's average cost hovers just a little bit under $250,000 if someone winds up in a nursing home. And that, by the way, does not include time that may have first been spent getting care at home and or in an assisted living facility. Now, moving to the next one, future costs. Let's take that average 2.4-year stay, multiply it times a 4.2% inflation factor, take today's average age applicant for long-term care insurance, which is 57, and project that out 25 years. This cost that today is $237,000 will hover over $600,000 by the time they get to what is called cluster age in our industry. That's a pretty scary number. This future cost, however, is very often dismissed. Now let's talk about the big issue here, the hidden cost. Too often we have folks that don't understand what comes along with the issues of aging. Nearly 60% of the people who care for Alzheimer's and senility folks wind up having huge issues with emotional stress as a result of that caregiving, and fully 1/3 of them report depression. Unfortunately, what is rarely talked about are the consequences to the spouse and the family, which, by the way, are the first line of defense when this issue arises. So folks don't have a strategy for what happens when care is needed, and very often the family takes the brunt of that abuse. And there's a saying in our business that caregiving does not bring families together, it literally tears them apart. This hidden cost, frankly, is every bit as difficult to cope with as the financial costs. It's like a 1-2 punch. It's bad enough that you wind up needing care unexpectedly. The only thing worse is having to pay for it. So with this high cost and the high probability of folks needing care, why do you suppose people haven't made plans or taken into consideration this issue?